Let me tell you something that nobody likes to be: invisible. One of the biggest questions that I get from you guys is, how do I become that guy at the party? The one that has the most fun, the one that people flock to talk to, the center of attention at a party. And how do I do that as an introvert? Is that even possible? Not only that, but as an introvert, you can definitely learn skills to be more comfortable in front of crowds, to not be shy, and to let your thoughts be heard by people around you. So let's take a look at some steps that you can take right now to be successful as an introvert in a world full of extroverts. And of course, guys, don't forget to check out my Instagram at Alex Costa, because I've been posting there my daily outfits to motivate you to look your best every single day of the week. My Instagram is at Alex Costa, and the link to that is linked in the description below. I'll make sure to see you guys there. The first thing you need to realize is that being an introvert does not mean you're not confident. So introversion is not equal to lack of confidence. They're not the same. So for example, if you're good at something, whether it's photography, science, or baseball, then as an introvert, you should still be confident in those skills. So don't look at introversion as a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to be an introvert. I consider myself to be an introvert, but at the same time, I can go up and give a speech in front of a crowd. I can do these videos to thousands and millions of people. I'm not shy, and I can hold my own when it comes to a dinner table when people are talking really loud. I can actually hold my own. But I do need my time to recharge. I like being alone, and that's the thing that introverts like to do. Now, you need to realize that being an introvert is not a flaw. If you think that way, it's just gonna bring you down. Number two, you need to start making suggestions right now. When you're in the middle of a conversation with a group, you have to participate. You have to make your own suggestions. As an introvert, you tend to overthink everything, right? So when you're thinking of giving out a suggestion in the middle of a conversation, you're scared of what people might think, or you're just too busy taking everything in. That's what we do. You tend to be in your head, but you have to stop thinking and start talking, especially if the conversation is around something that you're familiar with. Maybe the group is chatting about where to go next, and they're talking about a restaurant that you've been to. Well, give them your opinion, give them your experience at that place, give them your suggestion. And you should do that instead of just sitting back and letting everything happen around you. Number three, guys, do not be scared of the word no. And I'm talking about two different no's here. The no that you should be telling people, and the no that you're gonna be getting from people. A lot of times as introverts, things just happen to us. We let it happen. People take control of the situation and we just let it happen to us. Well, you have to learn to say no and take control of that situation. So learn to say no when the time is right. And let's say you're with that group of friends and you give them a suggestion of a place to go to and they say no. Introverts tend to overthink that so much that no is going to hurt them for weeks. But in reality, it shouldn't hurt at all. You should just brush it off. That's what everyone else does. No one is going to agree with you 100% of the time. So hearing the word no is actually quite normal. Listen, we all share different opinions. It's okay to disagree on things, so just be comfortable with that. Number four, something that you should start doing right now is make sure to stay updated on current events. And this is actually a great tip for introverts, and I'll tell you why. Because if you're confident about specific subjects, you're gonna be so much more comfortable talking about them. Let's say you're out and about and talking to people, and they bring up something that's happening in your town, in your state, in your country, and you've studied that subject, you know what's happening. Well, you're gonna wanna chime in and give them your own experience, your own opinion. Not only that, but sometimes when you're out with friends or especially on dates, it can be hard to think of things to talk about. Knowing what's going on around you can make great conversational starters. You can show off to that special date, or you can show off to your friends and be like, yo, I know what's going on. I know my stuff. I've studied this. You know, I researched all of this because it's been happening all week. So stay in tune with everything that's happening around the world, and you can chime in with your own educated opinion. Number five, guys, don't let yourself be squashed by extroverts, all right? And yeah, this is probably the hardest tip on today's list, because you actually have to try hard and go out of your way to stay afloat on a conversation between extroverts. It's just a lot happening, and then you, an introvert, don't really know what to do or how to get in there. Let's face it, you're probably not a fan of drawing attention to yourself for no reason. In a business meeting, for example, you're probably gonna be that kind of guy who just takes it all in, processes it, and then talks about it later. But I beg you guys, if you're in a business meeting and you have something to say and it's in your mind, just say it. All right, your thoughts deserve to be heard just as much as anyone else around you in that meeting. And that's just not in a business meeting. I'm talking about a dinner table conversation. I'm talking about being on a date. I'm talking about being in a circle of group of friends. The way I see it is, there's one microphone and you have to try to grab it as much as possible so you can speak your mind, so you can let your thoughts out. Don't let everyone else talk and then you just stay in your head, because that is terrible. You have to fight your way in, and that's much harder as an introvert, but you can do it. Number six, fake it until you make it. And look, some people disagree with this one. They say, be yourself. You know, people are gonna love you for who you are. I don't necessarily agree with that. My personal experience here is that I had to try my best to fake it, guys. Listen, I didn't learn how to speak English until I was 14 years old when I moved here. All right, I didn't speak a single word in middle school because I was scared, I was shy. I didn't want people to know that I had a really thick accent. At one point though, I had to throw all of those feelings out the window because I knew that I needed to be heard. And if I wanted to be successful, which I did, I couldn't be the shy guy. I needed to act as if I was comfortable talking in front of 100, 1,000, a million people. And that's what I did. I acted as if I was 100% fine. My poker face got better and better and better until I started being comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's when everything changed for me. People started looking at me in a different way. It was awesome. I wasn't invisible anymore. I wasn't that shy immigrant from Brazil anymore. I was a different, new man. So do your best to break that barrier. Step out of your comfort zone as much as possible until you get to a place where you're gonna feel fine no matter what life throws at you. Guys, if you learned something new from today's video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. And then also I have a free newsletter that goes out every single week. I love making the newsletter, but it takes a lot of work. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it, where I talk about a lot of subjects that I don't talk about here on the channel. Like for example, being an introvert and my life in the past and how I got over it. Talking about personal experiences that I don't usually talk about here on the channel. So if you want to know more about me and if you want to know more about these tips on self-development, I talk a lot about those on my free newsletter. The link to that is in the description below. And of course, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Costa. I've been posting there every single day. And you guys know that I just launched my clothing collection with Nordstrom and everything is there on my Instagram. I'm so pumped about that. You guys have been so cool posting your pictures wearing the collection and I'm so happy about that. So thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you again soon. Peace.